Hello, my friends and Earth family. My name is Roxy Giuliano. I am the owner of Mandalas of the Path, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about my journey with mandala art. I just hit my 3-year anniversary of making mandalas, so I thought I would like to share my journey about how I got started, how I have gotten to where I am now, and why mandalas have been so crucial to my life. So first, a little bit of backstory. I have always loved drawing, art, coloring since I was a little kid. Some of my favorite memories are of drawing with my dad when I would visit him at work, or coloring Disney princess coloring books with my mom. I always loved that stuff. Going forward into my life, I always enjoyed drawing and always found it really nice, peaceful, and enjoyable for me as a creative outlet. I never thought, though, that it would be anything more than an occasional casual hobby. So fast forward to university. Between my junior and senior years of college, I had a really fundamental shift in my life. I experienced the worst trauma of my life at the end of my junior year, and I was completely in denial about it until after the summer. In that summer, I actually traveled to China, and I studied abroad there. While I was in China, I was given the Chinese name Ruoxian, which roughly translates to like an enlightened being. And it really was given to me at a time in my life that I was about to experience a major awakening. So that name has been really important to me ever since I got it. After I was back from China, I started to basically realize and process what had happened 4 months prior. And I really didn't know how to handle it. I started having anxiety attacks. I was not really able to function socially. I was having regular breakdowns. I stopped feeling like myself. I really couldn't see a light at the end of the tunnel at that point. I thought it would never get better. That actually is when mandalas came into my life. I started making mandalas on September 9th, 2017. That was when I made my first mandala. I had been exposed to the art style on a social media page of a very well-known mandala artist, and I just loved it. I thought it looked beautiful. I thought it looked really meditative to make my own myself. So I just decided to try it. I was like, I think I can do this. So I went around my house, I looked for plates and circles to trace, and I made my first mandala. And I was hooked immediately. I loved it immediately. I realized it basically provided me with an escape. While I was making mandalas, I wasn't wrapped up in my thoughts. I wasn't feeling lost and completely out of control, completely detached from reality and from myself. It brought me into something physical and present. I could channel my energy into this pen and into this design. I didn't have to stay so caught up in my thoughts. And I could make designs that helped me to process what I was experiencing emotionally. That was crucial, really. That gave me a method of healing, and nothing else at the time functioned like that did. From the very first mandala I ever did forward, I signed with my Chinese name, Roxian, and that was really because it was kind of me finding a new identity for myself and turning a time that felt like destruction into more of a creation. Creating this artist alter ego of Roxy. I needed to create something. I needed to create me again. So that's why I signed with Roxian, and I still do. I made 5 mandalas in my first 5 days of making mandalas ever, and I never stopped making mandalas after that point. I went through a tremendous transformation over the next few months. I began meditating daily and really delving deeper into my own mind. Outside of work and class, I basically devoted all of my time to studying and practicing meditation and making mandalas. As far as helping me through the thick of my processing of my trauma and healing, meditation and mandalas, they worked. They got me through it. I went through so much healing with the help of those tools. Even after the brunt of the healing had passed, I continued to do mandalas, and they just stayed a constant fixture in my life. Mandalas remained central to my processing and to my joy. After graduating university, I moved to Thailand to teach English for 1 year. And I continued to make mandalas through this time, of course, after which I came to Nepal to study Buddhism and to travel. And I'm actually still here. Life has a way of leading us to the places that we need to be. So I'm still here in Nepal almost a year later, happily. While I was studying Buddhism at a monastery outside Kathmandu, fellow students would see me doing my mandalas, and they would ask me, do you have a website? Where can we see your work? Where can we find your mandalas? And at that point, I had no platform where I shared them. So a student suggested to me that I should make a website for my mandalas. At this time in my life, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, and this just kind of gave me the answer of, like, this is what I should be doing now. I had never made mandalas with the idea that I would share them publicly. They were always just for me. But I realized that they made people feel something. Maybe happy or interested or relaxed or excited or heard. Just something positive for people. So I moved to Pokhara, Nepal in February of 2020, and I devoted a month to making my website. I released my website in early March of 2020. It felt a little bit vulnerable and scary to share my babies to the public like that, but more than anything, it felt so good, so rewarding, so freeing, bearing my soul publicly. And that felt really fulfilling for me. When I first published my website, there were 5 collections with 60 pieces total, and now 6 months later there are 12 collections and 123 pieces total. I've probably made over 200 mandalas in my 3 years. I have also had the honor now of participating in an art show here in Pokhara, where I had my own exhibit with some pieces from my Next Generation collection. That was so special. I've never gotten to share my art in such a personal, physical setting like that, so that was so meaningful to me. I never thought I would be an artist. I'm spending my days doing what I'm passionate about and then sharing my passion on a platform that I created. On my website, I sell prints, t-shirts, digital files, and phone cases. My favorite thing ever is when someone likes something that I created enough to actually hang it in their home or wear it on their body or on their phone. It feels like my passion has just spread when I get a picture that someone sends me of them wearing my art or hanging my art or having it on their phone. I really have poured my heart and soul into these pieces, so when someone loves one of them, it just feels like they're loving an extension of myself. I do share my work because it makes me happy, but the reason it makes me happy is because it makes other people happy. The happiness just grows. All that to say, thank you for sharing in my happiness from creating mandalas. Thank you for the support you have shown me in any form, even in watching this video. I love making mandalas with all my heart, and it means the world to me that I get to do this with my life right now. And that you get to come along my art journey with me. If you want to see my artwork and own any pieces that make you happy, you can visit my website at mandalasofthepath.com. Named this because this is the path of life. My path, your path, our path, and our path to enlightenment, which we are all on, always. Thank you for watching, and may you be well on your path.